Hello everybody and welcome. I just wanted to go over the new aggregated data function within Exocharts for you, kind of run you through how it works a bit, a few of the use cases, and just so you can get your head wrapped around it. Again, I do want to state that this is in beta mode, of course, so please keep that in mind. Also, this video is sponsored by Woo, so thank you to them as always. So let's get into things. So this is a basic BTC USDT chart, and by the way, this is only available in Exocharts Desktop Pro, not on the web version currently. So Exo Desktop Pro. But yeah, I've just loaded up a basic chart here with BTC USDT. So to do that, new tab. If we just open up a new tab here, for example, you went chart, and then we loaded up. What I've loaded up is the Bybit BTC USDT pair. Okay, so I'm going to be using a few different words in this video, and this right here, what I've loaded up is the master pair. So right now, what you're generically seeing is BTC USDT Bybit. Very common, you can see the values here. All of these are in Bitcoin. I just want to show you how you'd configure this to all your likings and all the workarounds with it. So first of all, most people would want to be dealing within dollars. Personally, especially if you're dealing with aggregated data, the best and most clean way to do this is within dollars. So what we're going to do first of all is convert all of this here to dollars rather than Bitcoin. So you go over to here, data source, and we're going to change the synthetic volume to on, volume times price for linear contracts, show BTC volume as USDT. So we apply rebuild. There's a little bit of a bug here, but you just clone the tab quickly. And now we've got everything showing in dollars. Okay, so that was what you have to do. And now you can see here, all the values are in millions and not Bitcoin. Okay, so now we want to start actually adding on different pairs and different things. Okay, so what I'll do here is you can right click. There's multiple ways to go about this. Right click chart settings, and then you're gonna have aggregated data. Okay, and you want to add a pair. So let's just say, for example, we want to add a pair of. We'll add the inverse pair. I mean, this isn't going to be too useful. In this, actually, what we'll do, we'll add the Binance. Okay, we'll add Binance BTC USDT. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll click that, and then you can see it pops up here. And right now, what we've got on our chart here on the background isn't Binance yet. Okay, so what you can see here is this is the pair that we want to add to our chart. So what we've got right now on the chart is the master pair. Okay, this is the master pair. This is just regular Bybit. We've added this in so far, and we want it to be enabled, of course. Sync price, right? So I'd recommend you're doing this if you're using this, if you're using Bybit, I just recommend you sync this on, right? So what it will do is if you do have Ethereum or there is a discrepancy between prices of the exchanges, because what's going to happen is, right, Bybit and Binance, obviously the actual what they're on right now, their order books obviously are differing, right? And they're what tick they're on currently, or always is differing. So if you sync price here, it will essentially sync it to the actual master pairs level, so you won't get any jittery price action in simple terms. Exclude OI data if you want. Okay, I wouldn't do that. Because then you don't get the open interest data from Binance. Obviously, if you want that, if you don't want the open interest data from Binance, it removes the open interest data from Binance and just keeps your, where is this? So it will just keep the Bybit one, but we'll leave that on so you can combine all that. And we'll have used synthetic volume on, okay? Because Binance BTC USDT is also going to be showing in Bitcoin. So we want to be showing that also in dollars. So we need to enable that and now apply and rebuild, okay? Like I said, there's a bit of a glitch I'm on the dev version right now. But yeah, so I've done all of that. And now look at this. So now we've got both Binance and Bybit data combined running from the chart you're going to be seeing. If I just turn this up. Right, the chart you're seeing right now is basically based off of the Bybit pair. So what I recommend and what I do is, if you're trading on the Bybit, whatever you trade from, right? So are you trading from Bybit? Are you trading from Binance? Are you trading from Woo? Are you trading from BitGet? Whatever you're trading from, make that your master pair, right? Make that the pair that you see up here in the top, and then add any ongoing pairs from that. There is a slight, I have a recommendation aside from that as well that I'm going to bring up later on. But right now, that is what I'd recommend, obviously, so you'd add them on. So let's say, for example, we wanted to add on another pair of, we wanted the volume of, let's say, BitGet. I don't know, I haven't tried this stuff yet, but we'll try BitGet, BTC USDT. You can see here, this is a tick, the contracts, etc. Sync price, and I believe this is, you're going to want synthetic volume on for this as well. Let it load up. I haven't loaded Bit yet, so we're going to have to let it load up the days of data. Okay, a few days worth of data. And now, yes, we've got all of BitGet's data should be in here. Okay, now there is no way to necessarily validate you know, for right now, I'm saying we've got the data, but that's because I've done a lot of testing and know it's running, and you can check the numbers. But if you do want to troubleshoot, the best way to go about it is by going to, in the top left, you can see here, you have it all open. Is if if you're assuming you're receiving any issues or anything, you can disable or enable a specific pair and then rebuild to see how it then builds without it. These are the general settings I'd recommend. Obviously, you can see now we've got aggregated open interest, and you can see, right? So this is something we're going to run into. You can see we've got these large spikes in open interest, and you might be like, I don't like these large spikes in open interest, okay? So what we can do is go, we don't know what pair that's coming from, but I'm pretty sure it's coming from the BitGet pair. So we're going to exclude the BitGet's open interest data. And now you can see all of a sudden what we're dealing with now is we've still got the BitGet volume and all the footprint data coming in on the chart here, okay? But we just don't have their open interest. So right now we've got Bybit and Binance's open interest. And then we've got Binance, Bybit, and BitGet's, volume, data, etc., delta, all coming through via the chart in itself, okay? So there is tons and tons of ways to be using this, which is really, really cool. Hopefully that is sounds fairly useful to you all and makes a bit of sense in that case. Obviously, this works with, all the different pairs we have available in Exo. So you obviously got Phemex, Spot, Binance. One thing I would do, so if we just start up, we're going to start a brand new chart, okay, and hopefully this works. So we go to here and we're going to load up Coinbase Spot, okay? So this is something we've added recently. You do have to connect your Coinbase API key to receive access to this, but I've got this, hopefully I think I've got this enabled, so let it load up, and if I don't, then we'll see here, but I'll explain it nonetheless. No, I do. Okay, so now what we've got loaded up is the Coinbase one, so I do want to see this, right? You can see here, the Coinbase Spot, the ticks are very, very small, the tick increments are much smaller, right? So what I'd recommend, if you want Coinbase as your master pair and then you want to add on top of that, right? And also Coinbase doesn't show open interest data. So what would be really cool setup, but I don't trade actually using time-based charts. This isn't useful to me, but for most of you who do use those, then I'd recommend you do this. This is going to be a really good setup for you. What you do is you set Coinbase as your master pair, right? Second of all, you go into data source, I believe, override exchange tick size, and original tick size here is 0.01. We want to make it equivalent to Bybit and Binance, so we're going to round to the power of 10, and also we are going to use synthetic volume to get those denominations, hold on, I believe, yes, into Bitcoin, to dollars as well. So we're going to just duplicate all of that, and now if we just look here, we should be getting much higher values that are necessary. Let's increase the tick increment. So now you can see here what we've got rocking. It looks much more familiar to most of you of what we've got in the chart, right? So this is Coinbase, and then on top of this, right, we'll go to right click, chart settings, aggregated data, add a pair of, let's say we want Bybit's volume, right? So we're going to Bybit again, sync price, and we want to leave that unenabled, disabled. So you want to actually see the Bybit open interest. Use synthetic volume, right? Because we want to change the Bybit's data, and we're going to reload it and see how it pans out, right? So now we can actually come in here and load open interest, and now we've got open interest from Bybit. Coinbase chart is showing you the candles, so you've got Coinbase candles really on the chart, but you've just got Bybit's volume, etc., within them, right? So this, and again, we can add in Binance and do the same thing. So this is it's really, really good, to say the least, about how you can be using this data to your advantage. Now, there are a few things to be we're going to be adding to this in the future. Something to take into account right now. So let's just say we add a new chart, and we want to add, this is possible. I don't know who's going to use this, but it's possible, and I just want to open the mind of creativity using this, is if we, for example, want to have, we have Bybit, BTC USDT main pair, okay? And I want to show you something. So we're going to, chart settings, data source, synthetic volume on, right? We want to adjust this quickly. There's a few things I want to show you here, because it's going to get interesting if you start to add in different pairs that aren't Bitcoin, because you can technically do that. I don't know why you'd want to. Actually, I have a reason why you'd want to do that, to be honest. But I'll talk about that in a second. 120. This will be quite an interesting video, hopefully, for you all to wrap your head around this. So, don't mind me as long as we go on this. But we've got Bybit main pair, master pair, right? Now let's add a pair. So chart settings, aggregated data, add pair. Now what we're going to add ETH USDT. Okay, and now I'm just going to leave it how it is. Our synthetic volume for now, but I want to show you what it's like without any of these enabled, right? And I want to show you what happens. Let it load up, downloading days, right? And now you can see, look at this. This is what occurs, right? You can see BTC USDT ticks, and it ticks back down to $3,000 because that's where ETH is. And this is what you might receive, but this is what this sync price option really is for. So if we now enable the sync price, I don't know why you would need this, but now you've technically got Ethereum volume and Bitcoin volume in the same chart, okay, with Bitcoin being the master pair on Bybit here. So just think about that for a second. Now, what you could be doing is using vast majority of different altcoins, adding Bitcoin as the main denominator, as the secondary pair. So, for example, just as we'll go through this one more time, I want to show you something, an actual example, which could be useful. I'm just throwing some ideas out there for you that all trade alts, and I don't really trade altcoins. I'm just going through possibilities for others, and yeah, I think this will be useful. So we're going to add ETH USDT as the main pair, okay, main pair Ethereum, and what we'll do is 50 ticks. Right, again, we're showing these values are in ETH. We want to change those, data source, synthetic volume, and we go again, right? So this video is probably one of the more complex ones, but I'm hoping you find this useful. So what we've got here is ETH data, and what we can do now is, and it's important that we're looking at ETH candlestick charts here. So when you sync the price, the candlesticks you're seeing are from the master pair, and it's just adding in that additional volume, etc., from all the other pairs you need. So chart settings, aggregated data. Now let's add in Bitcoin. I don't know, there could be some benefits to doing this, but if we just add in now, Bitcoin is BTC USDT, yep, and synthetic volume, sync price, synthetic volume, and what I don't feel it could be useful again, it's exclude OI data, because if I want to remove that as well, because then we're going to get the open interest from Bitcoin onto Ethereum, which is we don't really want that. I just want ETH open interest on its own, but I want to be able to see the Bitcoin and ETH combined volume potentially, within these candles. So let's just do that. So let's just load this up. And now what we've got is these are the Ethereum candles, but now inside of them, we've got Bitcoin's volume. So why is this useful? Why could this be useful? I don't know. I don't use this, but it could be useful, for example, because you might want to be able to have a combined chart where you're trading Ethereum, but you want to recognize where there's a kind of global shift in volume, because Bitcoin is the master, the main kind of crypto pair. You want to be able to recognize when there's that main shift in volume. So you then add this pair in, or you add in Binance as well, BTC USDC, again, same theory. And then you can see when that is all coming in, whilst also simultaneously looking at the Ethereum pair, or the Ethereum chart, for example. But there are many ways to go about this. I just wanted to cover, because those are all the settings that we actually have within this. There's not many settings, but it can be really complicated to an extent, right? So I really recommend you dig deep into this if you do want to use aggregated data. Main things I would say is, obviously for me, I use Bitcoin, Bybit, BTC USDT with sometimes Woo and Binance on them, but generally all Bitcoin, all the same pairs, and just mashing all the volume together to get a decent fare. I don't like the Binance open interest, so I shy away from that. If you are trading time-based charts, I trade range-based, so this is, I do that. But if you're trading a time-based chart, I would recommend actually using Coinbase as a master pair. I mean, that's just, my preference. Again, do as you all please. But Coinbase is a master pair, and then adding on derivatives if you wish. But you can go completely the way you want about it. I just wanted to explore all the possibilities for you all here. Hopefully you've all found this valuable, and I'll catch you all next time. Again, thank you, Woo, for sponsoring this video.